Hello, and welcome to the Data Mindset Podcast, where we think, build, and lead with data. I'm your host, Farida, and today we're diving into a question that's sparking debates across the data world. So, who really wins the battle? Microsoft Fabric, Snowflake, or Google Cloud? Joining me is Atta Ullah Shah, a data and AI leader with years of experience driving analytics transformation across the cloud ecosystem. Atta, great to have you here.
Thank you so much, Farida. It's a pleasure to be here. And to be honest, this topic is very close to my heart because three of them have their own analytics capability, and organizations, they are still struggling to find the right platform. So we'll try to give my best insights, which fits best with the situation.
Sounds perfect. So before we dive in, can you set the stage for our listeners? So why are these three platforms dominating the data world now?
I think that's a great question. First of all, Fabric is new. When I say new, it doesn't mean that the components are new. It is that now they have bundled everything under one umbrella, which brings your governance, which brings your Power BI reporting, which brings your data engineering under the platform of one lake. So it serves the capability and it serves the flavor of all the major components required. Snowflake, on the other hand, it's totally cloud native. It has to do nothing with the compute and storage. It scales automatically. You just have to run your reports or queries. The performance is very fast and ideal for sharing the data within the organizations, which gives the capability to the users to play with the data and get the insights. On the third hand, it's Google Cloud Platform. It's totally AI first infrastructure where we know that AI is much required and AI is the future. It's already in place. It's a BigQuery, which is a very simpler platform for the data ingestion and more focuses on the Vertex AI and using the Looker for the data visualization. So in short, Fabric is integrated, Snowflake is focused, and GCP is innovative.
Okay, so now that we have this general information about all three, let's dive deep into the architecture and integration. So what do you think? How do these three platforms differ at their core?
See, Microsoft Fabric, as I mentioned in my start, it's one lake architecture having all the components, single point of integration for the data. You can have the reporting, you can have the data integration under one lake. So it's a centralized connected architecture. There's no point about that. Snowflake, architecturally, they're different. It's a modular approach. It separates the compute and storage. You create it independently, and it is perfectly flexible for the users who are much comfortable in the cloud. On the other side, GCP, known for serverless features, which is music to the ears of many organizations, that rather than going into the infrastructure and you put your core focus on the analytics, here comes the GCP with the AI features and with the very simpler integration or ingestion of the data platforms. So GCP is the future AI lab for the cloud.
So as engineers in the data world, we know that performance and scalability are very crucial aspects. So who takes the lead here?
Well, it solely depends on your workload. There is not a definite answer. Snowflake, due to the rich architecture, due to the very strong performance, it gives you the very optimized caching. Fabric, it leverages the Azure Synapse, offer the consistent, performance with auto scaling. GCP is unmatched when it comes to the massive scale of analytics via AI. So if your ecosystem is, let's say, Azure heavy, then Fabric wins. If you are more focused towards ML optimization or optimized machine learning algorithm, here comes the Google Cloud. When it comes to the performance of sharing the data and having a rich data warehouse performance, Snowflake is there.
I see. So let's talk now about the governance and compliance. So a major concern nowadays for the enterprises. What do you think on that?
Absolutely. If you ask my experience, Farida, 3 years back, data governance looks like a, textbook where you study about governance, but no one was very well aware of what actually the data governance is. And more importantly, it is the value which is via governance. That's really important to understand. For the audience, let me summarize it that governance is not only managing the, data or data about data. It is about having entire dictionary. In simpler words, it's the entire dictionary for the data people, tracking from where it is coming, where it is landing. Fabric shines with Microsoft Purview. It has a good features in the data governance, and especially it is tightly integrated with the regulatories. Here, the Fabric has this edge. Snowflake, solely focusing on the sharing data access control, secure control, so that and external governance tools. They don't have inbuilt governance tool for sure, but they make sure that the data is governed properly. GCP has its own data catalog and IAM policy, but governance experience isn't seamless across multi-cloud setups. So for governance compliance, I would say Fabric is the most enterprise ready. It can get integrated with either Purview, or you can use other governance tools to have a better data governance.
Very interesting. Thank you. Very intuitive. So since AI now is the future and everyone is using it at the moment, how do these platforms handle AI and machine learning? What do you think?
Well, three of the platforms, three of the giants, have their own ML features. Let's start with the Fabric. Fabric, they have Azure ML, they have AI Foundry, and more importantly, I think majority of us are using Microsoft tools for our offices. There's a Copilot. So if you see, there is a very strong vibe of the AI in the Microsoft Fabric stack. I mean, Copilot helps you a lot to get the insights or interpret the data. Snowflake is catching fast with Snowpark and Cortex. And they are also enabling, Python-based ML inside the warehouse. When it comes to GCP, Vertex AI, which is built for AI, and as I said in the start, GCP platform, Google Cloud Platform, it is meant for mostly focusing on your predictive analytics, machine learning, data science. That is the reason they have easier data integration process. So in simple terms, GCP is an AI powerhouse. Fabric is an AI democratization for business user. And Snowflake, I have to say, AI is in progress.
Okay. Sounds very fair. So the most tricky part then, what about the cost? Everyone is trying to balance the performance and the pricing. So what kind of insights can we give to our audience?
I think this is $1 million question, because in the end, organizations, they have to deal with the CapEx and OpEx. And whenever there is a variety of such data platforms, then the decision is somehow influenced by the cost factor. So let me make it very in a simplified way. Fabric uses Microsoft paper capacity model, predictable, but can be expensive with large data sets. Here comes the question. The organizations need to think, what is the DNA of their data culture? I mean, if you have large data sets, then they have to keep this factor in the mind. Snowflake, on the other hand, they are charging compute per second. Flexible, requires some cost governance. GCP offers per query pricing, great for some workloads, but hard to predict the monthly spend. Overall cost efficiency totally depends on the usage. As I said, by usage, I refer the DNA of the data culture in your organization. So it's not that pretty much straightforward to be very honest, decide this platform is right, this is not. In the end, you have to do your homework. Either you're more in usage, like you're doing the transactional reporting more, then you have to think that Snowflake, it's going to, cost per compute second. If you have heavy data, which you say structured, unstructured, then definitely it's going to be one lake. Then you need to see how it's going to use the more compute servers it's going to use, the more it's going to cost. So organizations, definitely they need to do their homework. This is how I can summarize it.
So is there any rule of thumb, or maybe can you share real world scenarios on when to use each platform?
That's a good question. Fabric, it is, let me, put it in a very simple way. Fabric, it's great for the enterprise already on Office 365 and Azure, who wants the integration of their data with their BI and using the BI capabilities. Snowflake, best for multi-cloud, enterprise, and for data sharing across the teams. GCP, ideal startup for the AI-driven initiatives for innovation and scale. The good analogy would be Fabric is a corporate powerhouse. I would say in this way, Snowflake is a data exchange network, and GCP is the AI research lab. Now, this depends what is your requirement on the use cases side and how you can use these features for these platforms.
So let's define then what's the final verdict that we can give. So the big question, who wins in this battle?
Honestly, there's not a single winner. I mean, in today's market, in today's era, which we are working, where the significance of the data is huge, you can say the people rely on the results. You can't simply say that this platform is the winner and this is not. Honestly, as I said, see what is the DNA of your organization in the data, what exactly you want to achieve, how these three platforms, which one can address your questions in a better way. So the real winner is the organization who aligns with the data strategy and its business goal. Choosing a platform, it's not like that. It's very difficult to say while deciding on the platform. It's not like iPhone, Samsung, or any other, mobile company that this is good or it's all on your needs. These days, unfortunately, I think there's still a gap in identifying the right platform for you.
I see. So that would be a perfect conclusion for us. So the right platform depends on our vision, not just the features that we're using. So thank you, Ada, for joining us and sharing this very valuable insights with us.
Thank you so much, Farida, and thanks to all the listeners. In the ending note, I just want to say data is only powerful when it comes to the actionable insights. So choose the tool that empowers the data, not complicated.
Thank you. So you have been listening to the Data Mindset Podcast. Subscribe for more discussions on AI, analytics, and leadership. Until next time, think, build, and lead with data.